Food prices are up, gas prices are up, housing prices are insane. Living in today's economy, what are you supposed to do? Well, if you're thinking of moving to a more affordable city and you're trying to find out what are the best cities out there I can move to, you're not only wanting to look at what is the cost of living in these different cities, but you also want to know, do I even want to live in this place? Is the city desirable? What are the amenities of the city? Can I see myself living here for the long term? If you're considering buying a house, you want to know if you can stick with this city for a while. Coming up in this video, guys, I want to show you why Cincinnati is one of the best cities in the United States to buy a house. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Sztanyo from Keller Williams Realty and TeamStanyo.com, where we are helping you find your home and strengthen your family. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. We are the #1 largest YouTube channel in the Cincinnati area for all things Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati real estate. If you want to learn more about the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky region and all things living here, as well as the real estate market and other data, please consider subscribing below. You'll be a part of the Sztanyo clanyo. Okay, so you're watching this because you're considering moving and you're looking at what are some of the best United States cities to move to. There's a lot to consider here. Things are crazy right now. Inflation is going wild. Everything is more expensive.
Ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
And so you're looking for somewhere new to live that's maybe a little kinder on your wallet. When you guys are looking for what city to choose, I think there are 3 considerations you want to look at. Number 1, affordability. Number 2, the lifestyle of the city. And number 3, the long-term potential of living in that new city. If you're going to pack up and move, let's make sure you can stay there a while. Okay, number 1, affordability. Times are hard right now. Inflation is crazy. I did a video a few years back called The Cost of Living in Cincinnati. If you guys want to check that out and go into more detail, you can click right here. I wanted to give a quick update here in this video because there's a new article that just posted that I want you to check out. The headline of this article is that Cincinnati again ranks among the most affordable US cities to buy a home. Let's take a look. Cincinnati continues to be a great place to put down stakes if you are looking to buy a home, according to a new study. The Queen City is tied for number 11, down from number 10 a year ago, among the top 50 US metros when it comes to housing affordability, according to a report from OJO Labs, an Austin, Texas-based real estate brokerage company. Cincinnati's unaffordability score is 3.4. And according to OJO Labs, Cincinnati's median home sale price was $242,000 in March, a 12.6 increase from this time last year. Green Bay, Appleton, Wisconsin continues to rank as the most affordable market with a median home sale price of $150,000, followed by Buffalo, New York at $165,000 and Cleveland at $176,000. Let's be real here, guys. You don't want to root for the Browns. You don't want to live in Cleveland. I mean, I know you can get a cheaper house at $176,000 compared to the $245,000 in Cincinnati, but Cleveland,
No.
San Francisco is the least affordable market with a median home sale price of $1.3 million, followed by San Diego at $825,000 and Los Angeles at $720,000. And I know this is true because a lot of you guys who watch this channel and who give us a call at Team Sztanyo are moving here from California. So welcome to Ohio, welcome to Kentucky. Everyone, just come on board. Come on to the Midwest. You're gonna love it here, I promise you. Other study highlights nationally, the median home price in the US climbed to $374,647 in March, a 16.2% increase from a year ago. The nation's unaffordability index rose from 4.4 in February to 4.7 in March. Hey, guess what? Things are getting unaffordable out there. All right, let's keep digging in on this affordability topic because it's probably the most important when it comes to you moving different cities and what you want to look at here. I want to jump over to this other website. Yes, this is built by Cincinnati, but it's a really helpful tool, and we'll put the link in the description below. But it is the CincinnatiExperience.com, and the question is Cincinnati affordable? Cincinnati is one of the most affordable cities to live in the US. Now, this website data is going to be a little bit behind what we just read in that other article, but you'll get the gist. In the Cincinnati region, you can buy a great house for an affordable price, as well as pay for groceries, healthcare, transportation, and utilities without busting your budget. Unlike big cities, we have an incredibly low cost of living here in Cincinnati, leaving you money to dream and explore. And that's what we want, right? We don't want all of your disposable income just going towards housing. You want to have some money to dream, to explore, to go go on a vacation, to save for retirement, to do some things with those dollars that you want to do, not just pay for an overpriced home or apartment somewhere in California. So scrolling down here on this page, the cost of living is 8% lower than the national average. It's the number 14, as we just read the number 11, most affordable place to live. The cost of how affordable is Cincinnati, the cost of living index is 84.6. The index is determined by the cost of housing, groceries, transportation, health, and utilities. To put it simply, your dollar goes a long way here. Overall, Cincinnati's cost of living is 8% lower than the national average. Living in Cincinnati is shockingly affordable when compared to other cities, yet the quality of life here is just as good, if not better. So a big stat here is the cost of housing is 24% lower than the national average. Housing is obviously a big part of your budget, and so having affordable housing here in Cincinnati goes such a long way to loosening up those restrictions that you have hurting your wallet every month right now. Is Cincinnati housing affordable? Absolutely. From the downtown business district to the suburbs, Cincinnati has quality neighborhoods to fit any budget. Whether you're looking to rent an apartment or buy a house for a large family, Cincinnati has a neighborhood for you. And then there's a link to kind of highlighting different neighborhoods within Cincinnati. You guys can check that out on your own time. One last thing here on affordability that I want to show you guys that's really awesome on this website is there's a cost of living calculator, and you can compare it to whatever city you're living in right now. It'll show you the cost of living of Cincinnati compared to the city you're in. So if you're looking at Chicago right now, in Cincinnati, the food is 7.45% lower. Housing is 51.6% lower than housing in Chicago. Transportation is 14.29% lower, and healthcare is about the same. Let's look at Cincinnati compared to a few more cities versus Seattle. Food is 24% lower, housing is 61% lower, transportation 23% lower, healthcare 19% lower than Seattle, Washington. What about Brooklyn, New York? Food is 23% cheaper here in Cincinnati. Housing is 74% more affordable, transportation 6% lower, healthcare 4% lower. And how about California? Let's take a look at Los Angeles, then we'll look at the Bay Area. In Los Angeles, food is 14% lower, housing is 64% lower, transportation 20% lower, and healthcare 11% lower in Cincinnati versus Los Angeles. And now looking at San Francisco, which obviously is an expensive place to live, but food is 26% lower, housing is 76% lower in Cincinnati than San Francisco, transportation 28% lower, and healthcare 20% lower. So guys, here we are. We live in a post-COVID world. You can take your job with you. Many of you can take your job with you. You can work remote. So why are you still spending dollars, thousands of extra dollars a month for housing, for transportation, for food, for all these things in these more expensive cities when you can move to a city like Cincinnati that's got great amenities, that's a great place to live, and you can take those dollars if you want to fly to the ocean, if you want to go to the mountains, if you want to go to Vegas, if you want to go to Florida, whatever, you want to go to Europe. If you want to do that, you can, because you're saving money every single month on your overall budget. All right, we've looked at affordability. Now let's look at lifestyle, because you don't want to move to a city that sucks, right? What's the point? Why move from California if you're going to go to somewhere in the middle of nowhere?
Exactly.
Let's show you a little bit about what Cincinnati has to offer from a lifestyle perspective. Same website, jumping over to their lifestyle page. Again, you guys can read this on your own, but it says in Cincinnati, you can build a life and live it too. On the banks of the Ohio River, where Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana meet, is a place with a view and a vibe unmistakably its own, a kaleidoscope of tradition, reinvention, and celebration. Its pride is colorful, its energy contagious. Welcome to America's Queen City. All right, just a little bit about my lovely home here in Cincinnati. Median home price we saw is actually up to $245 now, so this is a few years old. Population's around 2.2 million, with more than 75 neighborhoods covering 3 states. Last year, the NAE Cities Index ranked Cincinnati the 18th most immigrant-friendly out of the nation's 100 largest cities. Sports, this is where I get excited because I love professional sports, particularly baseball and football. Sports bring our region together, from the Cincinnati Reds, the first professional team in baseball. There's a great history there, even though we're absolutely terrible, and all the Reds fans hate the ownership right now. And if you tweet, sell the team, Bob, you're gonna find that hashtag. To the Cincinnati Bengals, which in a bizarro world of understanding, Bengals are like the best team in the NFL, or one of them, and the Reds are like the worst. We don't really understand fully how to comprehend that yet as a Cincinnati sports fan base, but I tell you what, with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, we are gonna enjoy the ride. You can come enjoy it with us. I did predict last year, before the Bengals even made the playoffs, that we were gonna go all the way, that Joe Burrow was gonna take us to the promised land. Yeah, if you guys can see that right there, that is Paul Brown Stadium, where our man Joe Burrow is taking over the team and is gonna lead us to the promised land. I'm telling you, who dey? We were about 1 second away from shocking the world and winning the Super Bowl if only we could block for one more second. Jamar Chase had beaten Jalen Ramsey. Okay, we'll get it this year. So besides the Reds and the Bengals, we have the Major League Soccer FC Cincinnati team. For hockey fans, there's the Cincinnati Cyclones, the Kentucky Speedway, the Western and Southern Tennis Open, which is a great event. Professionals love coming here and playing the event here because the press is kind of low key and they all use it as a warm up for the US Open. It's an awesome event. And you've got some big time NCAA programs, University of Cincinnati, Xavier University. If you move into Kentucky, you might become a big blue fan of University of Kentucky or University of Louisville. All right, moving on, parks. You can live outdoor life in the Cincinnati region in both urban and rural parks featuring wooded hiking trails, rolling hills, formal gardens, and gorgeous architecture, plus more than 116,000 acres of protected green space. I've done a few other videos of parks here, Alt Park, Smale Park downtown, Washington Park. The park system here is fantastic. So is the outdoor life in terms of trails, biking trails, hiking. Also, you're close to everything. The Midwest is the best. Explore it in Cincinnati. You're within a short drive or flight of other major cities. And so if you look at this map here on the site, you can see how close you are to Lexington, Indianapolis, Louisville, Nashville, Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, even Chicago, DC, or not too long. If you want to throw the kids in a van, which I do because I have 5 kids, we jump in the Sztanyo Vanyo and we drive down to Florida. It's like 10, 12 hours if you want to get to the Panhandle. If you want to get down to Orlando or Tampa Bay area, it's a little bit longer, maybe 14 hours, something like that. But everything is kind of attainable here. What's kind of fun about Cincinnati is the topography sets up these different unique neighborhoods. So make sure you watch this video where it talks about living like a local. You can get a sense of the eclectic neighborhoods here, each with their own personality. You can explore what each place has to offer and find your place. Rivers. Cincinnati is a river town through and through. Rivers are our history and they flow through our present day. Our region runs from where the Ohio River meets the Licking River along the heart of downtown to where the Little Miami hugs its scenic trail, a favorite of local cyclists. There's the universities, as I mentioned before, UC, Northern Kentucky University, Xavier, and Miami. And also the art scene here is fantastic. Our art scene is a way of life with traditional and contemporary art museums dotting the region and professional orchestras, ballet companies, and theaters programmed all year long. Plus, the entire region is a living art gallery with hundreds of larger-than-life murals. Commute's gonna be easy. No matter where you're at in Cincinnati, you're probably about 30 minutes from everything or less. Traffic is just not that bad, except for the Brent Spence Bridge, which I always talk about. But other than that, commute's always really easy around here. Okay, so we've looked at affordability, we've talked about lifestyle, but the last question is, could you see yourself here for the long term? So guys, as someone who has lived here for 30 years, I moved here when I was 6 years old from Michigan, so I was a relo down to the Cincinnati area. I've grown up here. I went to college in Nashville, but came back. I married my wife who's from here. We've been married 17 years in December. We have 5 kids. I can't imagine seeing myself living anywhere else. This is where I'm raising my children. This is where I plan to be around my grandchildren, and God willing, around my great-grandchildren as well. So we believe at Team Sztanyo that home is where families grow strong together. I did another video, you guys can check that one out, of why Cincinnati is a great place where you can put down roots. It's a city where your family can grow strong. It's a city where it's diverse enough, it's economically sound enough, where you can be around your family for generations to come. That's a vision for me that's super exciting, which is why I want to stay here. So if you're interested, guys, go ahead and watch that video now. We'll put it up here for you to click. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.